Hello friends, and welcome back to my tiny kitchen for the first time in 2021. It feels great to be back. I'm glad you are back, and I have a very exciting recipe this week. It's a first time recipe, and it's from one of the best gifts that I got this year from my aunts. My Aunt Rosie, my Aunt Carmen, my Aunt Henny, and my cousin Tony got me this beautiful cookbook. I mean, I want to make every single recipe in it, and I probably will, but I'm gonna start with something called Sopa de Fideo, and it just, when I was growing up, we called it star soup, and it was just like this delicious light tomato broth with pasta stars, but the flavor was just, it wasn't Campbell's. So I'm very excited to make this soup for the first time from the Mexican Home Kitchen by Mely Martinez. Thank you again for this wonderful present. And now let's get on to Sopa de Fideo. I'm so excited to make this recipe. It reminds me of childhood. So let's get started with our parade of ingredients. And I liked the way I did it for our last episode. So I'm just going to include all the ingredients down in the description. Let's get started. All right, so for our sopa de fideo, the recipe calls for 10 ounces of plum tomatoes. This is a little over 11 ounces, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Next, the recipe calls for 1 large garlic clove or 2 small ones, but you know me and garlic, I like the number 3, so we're going with 3 cloves of garlic. 1/2 cup of chopped white onion, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 8 ounces of vermicelli noodles. Now, these are not vermicelli noodles. They're something called trophy noodles, but they reminded me because vermicelli is about this size, but it's like spaghetti, I guess. So I'm using this instead. I'm sure it will be just as delicious. 6 cups of vegetable or chicken broth. I'm using vegetable broth this time. And then a little salt and pepper to taste. All right, so our first step really is we've got the tomatoes, onion, and garlic in the food processor. We are going to puree that until it's like a liquid, I guess. So here we go. Okay, now the next step is to strain the mixture that we just blended or that we just processed in the food processor. Strain it through this little nice sieve colander into a bowl. So let's do that. Okay, so it didn't say like if I needed to press everything through the colander, but my hands were cramping, so I feel like I got a good majority out of it. So this is what it looks like, and we're going to set this aside and move on to the next step. Okay, so I have the, excuse me, the oil heating on maybe like a medium to medium low flame. And now we're gonna add the noodles. And it says to fry them in the oil for about 3 to 4 minutes until they get golden brown, stirring constantly. So I'm going to do that. All right, so now they're browned. Ooh, yeah. Now it's time to add the tomato mixture. we're gonna cook that for about a minute. And then finally, we are going to stir in our broth. So now I'm going to bring this to a boil and then bring it down to a simmer and cover it and let it cook for about 8 minutes. And I'm so excited. There we have our delicious and beautiful sopa de fideo. It's suggested that you serve it with a little cotija cheese and some diced avocado, but I wanted it to be as pure as possible, but I did put some bugs. Just kidding, they look like bugs to me. But some dried oregano. And now it's time for the taste test with our favorite taste tester, Dan.
Okay.
All right.
Mmm. That's really good. That tastes like the most chewy, texture, flavorful thing and then the oregano. It's like an Italian soup, and you can hardly taste the bugs. Yeah.
You can hardly taste the bugs.
Yeah.
You match the soup.
Yes, I inadvertently matched the soup.
I love it. There we have it.
Mm.
You guys, it's so good. I obviously tasted it myself, and it is flavor explosion, memory explosion in my mouth and my heart. I love it. Thank you again, Carmen, Honey, and Rosie and Tony for the book. I love it so much. I can't wait to make more recipes. Thank you for coming back to my tiny kitchen to see another recipe. I'll bring another one for you next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell your friends and spread the word. And until next week, Happy New Year.